hello. Hi Facebook, hi Instagram. I can't sleep, so I am up. I'm up because I want to share some news with you guys that has me unable to sleep tonight. I've got about half a screen over here on Facebook. So if you're watching on Facebook and you're commenting, I can check in here. I'll check in. Facebook, just know I can't see your comments. So if you make a comment, please slide over to Instagram to post a comment over here so that I can see it, because I only have half a screen. My other device is broken. But hi Instagram, thank y'all for checking in. I have some disturbing news that I would like to share with the community. If you see me smiling, it's because I have to smile to keep from crying. Ah! Hold on, y'all. My little thing ain't really that stable, y'all. Bear with me. If y'all see me laughing, it's not because anything is funny. Sometimes it's a coping mechanism. I have to laugh to keep from crying sometimes with the things that I deal with, dealing with social justice and advocacy work. Now this phone gonna fall again, so just bear with me. We got one view on Facebook. Hi, Facebook. If you make a comment, I won't be able to see it. I want to just jump in. It's late. I can't sleep, and I need to tell somebody what's going on, because I would love to hear your perspective. And this live is primarily for anyone who lives in or runs a business or is affiliated with Rochester. We've recently expanded our organization, so we have a lot of people from the Twin Cities who tune in to us, but this live is specifically for the community of Rochester. Can everybody hear me? Can you hear me? Can somebody give me a thumbs up if my audio is okay? I would hate to go into details and nobody can hear what I am saying. Let me know if you can hear me, or just heart the screen if yes, if you can hear me. I'm just trying to get a little technical assistance here. Oh, thank you. All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and dive right in. So recently Journie went live on Instagram with the camera guy whose name is Shamarky, right here in my home. We went live on our social media platforms to inform the community about his story and to tell the community about who he was, because he felt like he was being, not getting the attention that he deserved to tell his side of the story about what was going on, which was the fact that his family was being targeted by the police, by white supremacists, to the point where he could not operate his truck driving business. He wasn't able to make money. He could barely leave his home. He himself has an autistic child who is homebound now because they can't take him out. So he mentioned to us during that live that he tried to share this information with the NAACP, who would not speak with him, who would not share his story due to allegations of charges that was brought up on him in his past that were dismissed. When I received the phone call that the camera guy and this representative of the family wanted to share information, us being a social justice organization, I don't discriminate, you know. I like to try to gather as much information as I can about what's going on before just letting people onto our platform. And so I did that. Before Shamarki and Ayan came onto the Journie platform, I had spoken with a couple of leaders within the community just to confirm some information that I had heard. And based off the information that I received, I was confident about allowing Shamarki and Ayan, the representative of the family, onto our platform to share their stories and to ultimately assist Shamarki and his family with raising some funds through his GoFundMe platform to help his family with food and any necessities. As of right now, I believe Shamarki has raised about $86,000 on his GoFundMe, and he has another platform. I can't remember the name of it. I'll find it, post it, link it to you guys. But he's doing really well on that platform. I believe that platform is somewhere around $10,000. So our efforts worked. We were able to get Shamarki, the camera guys, from the video, the guy who filmed the video. We were able to successfully get his story out there and push his GoFundMe to assist him with raising funds for his family. So that was successful. Ayan, who was the representative of the family, I had been speaking with her. She was talking back and forth with the family. When I say the family, I mean the supposed family of the little 5-year-old boy and his parents, the 5-year-old boy who was assaulted in the park. I had spoken with Ayan, and she had shared information about the family. The goal was for her to come online and give us updates about what was going on. For those of you who are unaware of what I'm talking about, I encourage you after this, go back and look at our live, the interview I did with Shamarki and Ayan a few days ago. The goal was for her to come online and give the community on our platform and give the community an update as to, you know, how the family is doing, because at that time, nobody wanted to talk about. Now, I'm about to drop a bombshell on y'all, so if you watching, you might want to stick around. I'm getting to the point. That family, she was the representative of the family. The goal was for her to come on to our platform as the representative of the family and just let the community know how the family, number one, is doing, what the family need, and if it's anything that we can do to assist. The day she was supposed to come onto our platform, excuse me, the day I got a tooth pulled today, you guys, and it's still hurting. The day she came on our platform, when she got here, she said the family called, they spoke with the NAACP. Something was said, we can't share information about the family. We're no longer representatives of the family. I said, totally fine. Share anything that you would like to share. We'll ask some questions. If you're uncomfortable with any questions that we're asking, you don't have to answer it. So the live continued, and if you'd like to see the results from that, go check it out. Since then, Brother Shamarki, we had a rally, which was a very abnormal rally, just different than any other that most people were doing in town, where we barbecued in the park at Soldier Field Memorial. And the camera guy, Shamarki, he was present. He came, he spoke to the news and the people that were out in the park a little bit. And we gathered together on a positive note to say change needed to be made. And again, we elevated and pushed his GoFundMe. Since then, I hadn't talked to Brother Shamarki or Ayan since our rally. Last night, I received a call from Brother Shamarki, the camera guy. It was about 10:30 last night. I didn't answer the phone. I was sleeping, but it was like back-to-back calls. So I answered the phone because I assumed it was an emergency. So I answered. And what he told me really, really shocked me. And what he told me, I said the community needs to know this, and that's why I'm here. Brother Shamarki shared with me that the family that the NAACP is raising money for is not the correct family that was in the park that day. I was able to, now that's a lot, right? Right? So he was very upset, and he said, and the reason I'm sharing this with you guys is because I believe that the community should know. I believe those of you who have spent your money to support these families throughout this crisis situation deserve to know what's going on. I want to know what's going on. Brother Shamarki shared with me that he said, I received a call from a guy, a Somali guy, who had said he had been looking for me. By the way, Brother Shamarki okayed for me to share this with you guys. He actually made a TikTok himself last night that he posted, and it was on his TikTok page that's gone viral, that was removed somewhere around 2 or 3 o'clock this afternoon. So what I'm sharing with you has already been shared on a TikTok platform of his own. So anyways, he called me last night and he said, Nashana, something really bad has happened. I said, well, what happened? He said, the NAACP has the wrong family. I said, how do you know that? He said, I received a phone call from a Somali guy, and the guy said, hi, I've been trying to reach you for a long time. My son's picture and video is all over the internet and all over the news and things like that, and I've been trying to get a hold of you. And Shamarki said to this Somali guy, so many people have been calling my phone, and I'm not sure if you're telling the truth or not. And this Somali guy said, well, I can prove to you that I'm telling the truth. He said, my son is autistic, and he said, first of all, I saw you at the park and you saw me. He said, my son is autistic, and he has a ankle monitor on his around his ankle that he has to wear because he's autistic in case I was to lose him somewhere outside. He said that ankle monitor, the ankle bracelet, is connected to my cell phone. He said, I can show you that my son was in the park that day at the same time that you shot the video. He said, I want to come and see you. He said, I want to come and see you because I need to lay eyes on you. Brother Shamarki said to me that he went to the home of this Somali guy that called him and said that he's the real family of this 5-year-old boy. He said, my son is autistic and he has a ankle monitor on his around his ankle that he has to wear because he's autistic in case I was to lose him somewhere outside. He said that ankle monitor, the ankle bracelet, is connected to my cell phone. He said, I can show you that my son was in the park that day at the same time that you shot the video. He said, I want to come and see you. He said, I want to come and see you because I need to lay eyes on you. Brother Shamarki said to me that he went to the home of this Somali guy that called him and said that he's the real family of this 5-year-old boy. So he said he went to his house and he saw the man and in fact saw the boy. And he said, yes, Nashana, I can guarantee you 100% this is the father that I saw in the park, and that is the little boy that was on camera. And I said, how did this mistake happen? I said, didn't you speak to the father prior? I said, because you told me that the dad had been calling, harassing your phone, accusing you of using the video on TikTok and he wants the money from it. He said, yeah, but I never actually saw him. I never saw his face. He was calling on the phone. And so I asked Ayan, I said, Ayan, you're the representative of this so-called family. I said, how did you meet them again? How did you not make the connection that this was the incorrect family? She said, someone connected her to the family. And when she first started working with them, it was via phone. She said when she met with the mom, eventually, it was just her and the mom, but the mom wouldn't let her see the child. And so a lot of questions came to my mind. I said, this is a lot. This is a lot going on. So I told Brother Shamarki, because he was very upset. He says, you know what? We need to go live. We need to tell everybody what's going on. I said, first of all, before I use my platform to allow you to go and tell the community any of this, I need to be able to verify what's going on for myself. I said, I need to see the original video of the young man where his face is not blurred, because all of the videos of the young 5-year-old boy, it's blurred out his face. I said, I need to see the original video and I need to see this kid. Otherwise, I cannot allow you onto our platform to share this information. He said, I'll send you the video right now. And he did. He sent me the original video of him in the park with the little boy where his face is very, very, very clear. And so he said, I'll call the dad right now on the other line. And so he did, but the dad didn't pick up. I said, let's continue this tomorrow morning. We'll try to get a hold of the dad, and if I can see him, I said, we advocate at Journie for everybody. We do not discriminate, and if this is the correct family that should be represented, I have no issue with allowing that family to utilize our platform so that their voices can be heard the same way we did with yours. I said, give me a call tomorrow. He called me this morning. I was getting a tooth pulled. I called him back, and his tone had changed significantly from last night. And I said, have you talked with the dad? And he said, oh, I missed a few things. Last night, he also stated that the real dad went down to the police station yesterday, filed a police report. The police said, we need to get the ankle monitor and we need the cell phone of the dad. And apparently the police took the cell phone from the father, took the ankle monitor from the father, Rochester Police Department, and took a new police report. And so after he told me all this information, I had to contact someone from NAACP that sits on the board just to gather more information, see what they knew. So I talked to this board member who's been a part of the NAACP. Now, the funny part is when I was on the phone with Shamarky last night, it wasn't just me and Shamarky. NAACP had a like a rally, like a town hall at the Mayo Civic Theater. And there was a Somali gentleman there who was a community representative. I think his name is, I don't know his name exactly, but he had on like a tan suit at the event. And he was on the panel. He was a Somali representative. That guy, he was the one that was on the phone with, and I can guarantee that, I know it for sure. He was on the phone with myself and Shamarky when Shamarky shared this information with me. So there are other witnesses who heard him share this information. He also shared it on his platform that there's a whole different family. So the family that we think they shared the GoFundMe for is in fact the wrong family. So the real family came forward yesterday, reached out to the camera guy. Camera guy went and visually saw the kid, identified the kid as being the correct kid. Then he reached out to the NAACP, he said, and told Wale, you guys messed up. Y'all got the wrong family. And from what I gathered, Wale basically told him, we got our direction from the police. I contacted someone that sits on the board with NAACP, and I said to them, I said, are you guys aware that there's a rumor that you guys are raising funds for the wrong family? That is not the same little boy that was in the park at Soldier Memorial Field, and that is not his parents. This board member at that time, which was that today? Yep, earlier today, had zero idea what I was talking about. So this information hadn't even been shared with the NAACP board as of yet. So this person said, you know what? I need to call somebody and ask some questions. I'll call you back. That board member got on the phone with someone, called me back and says, you know what? You're right. According to what I was just told, the Rochester Police Department just opened up a new investigation for this situation. Because apparently another guy walked into the police station claiming that he was the father of the 5-year-old boy and was able to produce evidence, which was a cell phone and an ankle monitor. And then I was told this isn't the NAACP's fault. The NAACP got their direction from Rochester Police Department. We verified the family based off the original police report that was filed. And that's where we got the names of the family from, the police. And I was then told by the NAACP representative, as of right now, the NAACP doesn't even really think that this new family is the real deal. We think that they're not being truthful. And I said, well, I just find it ironic that they have the proof and the camera guy has identified them as the persons being in the park. And they're like, we don't know. The police, the Rochester Police Department has opened up a new investigation. I said, okay. So I called the camera guy back, Shamarky, and I said, Shamarky, I think it's important that you share with the community what you shared with me. I think it's important for them to know, because a lot of people donated money to support that family. And if you believe that this is the wrong family, you need to tell the community that, and you need to tell them why you think that. And I was told by Shamarky that he's in fear for his life. He's in fear of deportation. He's in fear that for whatever reason they might try to bring his charges back up and send him back to prison. I was told a lot. And I was also told that I shouldn't say anything about any of this. And I said, okay, I won't. I didn't say I wouldn't say anything. I just said I think the community deserves to know what's going on. You know, this is a lot. The situation itself involves a word that is rooted in systemic racism, and it has been very detrimental to specifically the Black community of African American people like myself, African American descendants of slaves. And so to hear that all of these different moving pieces are going on surrounding the situation within the Rochester community is bothersome to hear. And at this time, the Journie program is going to cease from any involvement with this situation. I'm going to cease from reporting. I'm going to cease from updating. I'm just going to cease because the Somali community no longer wants to talk. Shamarki no longer wants to talk. The NAACP no longer wants to talk. And of course, the Rochester Police Department is not going to talk. What do I think the community needs to do in response to this? Number one, question whether or not there's a new investigation. And if there is, question why. The GoFundMe for the family, question why was it taken down? Question about the bracelet, the ankle monitor. There's a lot of questions that should be asked, and I think the community deserves to have answers. I think the police department and the NAACP, who I know for a fact is aware of these allegations, should do a press release and let the community know what's going on. Not only because it's important for people to know and be updated. Whether it's true or not, nobody should be faking like they're the family of a child that has gone through this type of trauma. That's not okay. But it's important for those who have given money to know where their money is going and who their money is going to. And I can't sit back and keep this a secret. You know, this is what I've been told. Whether it's true or not, I think it's questions for NAACP that they need to answer. I think these are questions that the Rochester Police Department needs to answer. Because according to NAACP and according to the camera guy, there is a father, there is a family that has stepped up and said that they are the real family. It makes you question, so now what's going to happen with the funds that's supposed to have been put in the trust for the family? You know, it's a lot of unanswered questions. And I'm coming to you as a representative of the community from the Journie program. We brought these people onto our platform to advocate on their behalf. And we did that. And this is where we are now with the situation. And this is where our advocacy ends, because on this front line, it's just me by myself. And so me alone is not enough to go against anybody. You know, we're going to give our platform. Hopefully the truth will come out. Hopefully the proper family will be able to access funds that were raised for them. Hopefully the Rochester Police Department can conduct their investigation and find out who the proper family is, so that justice can be served. Before I end the live, the one point that I want to make that's a little bit concerning for me, and I'd love to hear from anyone who has like legal background. I'm just curious to know if this lady that was saying the N-word was to be charged, right, for a crime, wouldn't the charges get dismissed if the allegations was coming from the wrong family? I'd assume so. Throughout this whole process, from the beginning all the way to now, we never knew who this family was because we were keeping their identity a secret for their safety. But I'm just curious. It just raises a red flag in my mind. I'm just like, she won't get charged, I don't think, if the allegations against her is false, which they would be because it's an inappropriate party making the allegations because they weren't even the family. So then charges would have to be refiled against her by the right family, which would take more time. And so this whole thing is a bit much. What do you guys think about it? What do you guys have to say? What do we as a community need to know from here? Based off of all the information that we have, what do we need to know and how do we move forward as a community? One thing that Shamarki mentioned to me is that we shouldn't focus on the mistakes of the Somali community and the errors of one family. We should continue to remain, we should let that die down, and we should keep our focus on this racist woman. I mean, yes, what she said was wrong. Yes, what she said was inappropriate, but two wrongs don't make a right, and nobody's getting off the chopping block. Whoever is using this situation for the wrong reasons need to be held accountable. Whether you're the wrong family, the right family, or whatever. If your motives are not for the good of, the community and for what's right, it needs to be put out there, And so I'm hoping that community organizations can continue to work together, share information amongst each other to see how we can best support each other, because if we stay secluded with our information, we'll never know how to help. And we're all here to support the community as a whole. So if we're all here to support the community and we have the same vision and the same goal, there's no reason why we shouldn't be working together collectively instead of against one another. So I just I couldn't sleep, and I was just battling back and forth with myself on whether or not I should share this information with you guys. And I had tried to lay down, and I had decided that I wasn't gonna even say anything. I'll just let the police do whatever they're gonna do. But I don't know if any of this is true. So until Brother Shamarki gets online and say it to the world, until the real family comes forward, until the old family confess that they lie, until the NAACP does a press release about this new family, until the Rochester Police Department informs the family that there's a new investigation, I guess there's nothing any of us can do about anything, right? And so I just figured before any of this gets out of control more farther than it already is, I bring to you the latest news that I know, since I allowed the Shamarki and Ayan onto our platform to share their story. I thought we owed it to you guys to share with you the update that we had gotten. So thank you so much for whoever's on here watching. Thanks to those who support our program. Thank you to everybody who supported not only the family's GoFundMe, but Shamarki's GoFundMe. We all had good intentions, and hopefully we can continue to support these families.
So, according to Rochester Police Department, falsely reporting right here is a crime. Okay. And if you go to that link, it's this falsely reporting a crime. So, there you go.